Durty Talk, the podcast with Bob Fryer. Keep the conversation cooler, get it on fire from the studio room and push through the wires. Learn how the brains groove and distinguished outliers. The artists you admire who lace in walls and attire. Producers, designers, activists and rhymers. People dedicating time, keeping treads on tire. Madams and sagas breaking down the atoms and fibers. Every episode a new story to be told. Dirty digging for gems and superpowers people hold. What inspires the movements and refuses to fold.
Everyone, it's another edition of Durty Talk with Q Perry. This is an edition of the quarantine edition. Put the masks on, man. You know, just
that's the universal quarantine sound.
Yeah. Like I'm only kissing my wife and my kids at this point. You know, like
around no more than 2 or 3 people around me, even in grocery stores. I see 3 people in the aisle. I'm waiting till they out.
If I need to get something and I need to leave, I'm walking down. Oh no, I'm walking. I'm going down that aisle coughing like. Like, yeah. They'll get motherfuckers spreading, dude. They'll be like, peace.
That's smart.
That's smart. Always, I'm a thinkins man, you know?
That's very smart, actually.
So, how are you doing, man? I haven't seen you since the summer.
Yeah, just pretty good, staying busy. Trying to grow this full-time artist thing, learning and growing. A whole lot of learning and growing.
It's definitely a challenge.
Yeah.
And I especially for me, I still have a full-time job. I'm lucky enough to be working, but my gig that I want is being a full-time artist. So like when I see people that I consider not just friends but also colleagues like yourself doing it, it's very inspiring because like I do see the hardships that you go through and yeah, everyone else too. And I think at a time like this now, it's so hard for creatives because everybody is holding on to that nickel. Like art is a luxury, right?
Yes, it's a luxury item.
It really is.
It's the last thing on people's minds right now.
But
they want toilet paper.
Yeah, but like, see, I'm the opposite way right now. I'm actually looking like I want to add to my collection. Like so, like I'm kind of thrifty shopping in a way, like trying to find deals and stuff like that of a lot of the stuff that I'm into. Luckily, I'm finding some stuff, but I am holding on to that nickel too. You know, like you got to find. And so, with all this, how are you doing?
Surprisingly pretty well, and I don't want to put it out there like I'm not hurting right now. Thankfully, I actually just sold a commission today. Like a lot of my loyal collectors, they're still buying. And they just said, you know, I support you. I know it's hard. You know, here's a couple $100. I want this. Get it to me whenever you can because it's kind of a hassle to get art supplies. I think we talked about it. It's kind of a hassle to get art supplies right now.
Yeah.
But people still support. Not as much, but they're still looking out. Like they're still thinking about the.
Oh yeah. Here, move the camera up a little bit. We gotta see that fit. There we go. I like that. There you go. So yeah, like the art supplies are hard because it's like when I go to order something from where I normally go to, out of stock, and then
out of stock, or they don't have the right one, or it's different than going and picking out what you want.
Yeah,
it's very different.
Yeah, because like I do like going and buying the paints because I think that's something that we've chatted about. Where it's like
it's actually fun.
Yeah, it is. It's like holding it up and you can open the cap and see the color. Where if you're ordering it online, you're like
not necessarily not quite. You don't know
because I'll be honest. Like black, it's not just straight black. Like there's a spectrum of it.
Ivory black, Mars black. There's a bunch of different blacks in
lamp black.
One place is out of black. One place only has like 2 ounces. It's a hassle.
Yeah, and it's I noticed that the coupons are very slim now too.
It's pretty much a drought on supplies. It's pretty much a drought. It's it's not easily accessible, so it's kind of a hassle to finish stuff, to get new supplies and new canvases, and it's a hassle.
I have three big jobs, and I'm talking big canvases. One is 24 by 36. The other one is 24 by 48, and then my other one is 48 by 60.
Damn.
So
Great.
yeah, and the deposits have already been put down. So I get messages. They're like, "So what's going to happen?" I'm like, "You're going to get your product.
You're gonna get it. It's coming, but
yeah, I have no time frame.
I'm trying to find some supplies, and whenever stores open back up, whenever Amazon or Blick or wherever you order supplies from can get it to you, but
Now,
not out of your hands.
so like your clientele that's supporting you, they're being very understanding.
Oh yeah, they're definitely super cool. And prior to all this, I tried to knock out as many commissions as possible. Like I have maybe 11 commissions I still need to finish, but I messaged them like right when the stuff was about to hit the fan.
Yeah.
That's when I knew it was going to get bad, and I was like, you know what? Times are getting hard. It looks like everything's shutting down. You're going to get your art. I didn't forget about you, but everything's up in the air because I can't physically get to an art store.
Yeah, and it's so nice when you have a clientele, a customer that is like, you know what, I get it. You've never done me wrong in the past. Yeah,
because they're repeat customers and they understand. They know your quality, they know your talent, so they're really not too worried.
But it's got to feel good knowing that you got the support of clientele and a community behind you that understand that.
It wasn't always like that.
No,
it wasn't always like that.
You know what? I wish I could say I feel the same, but I don't get out as much, and that's not a dig at anybody in the city, or I don't mean it rudely, but I have a family and I have a wife and kids that I just adore, and
that's another thing. Like you have another job, so to speak, other than an artist. You have your father. You have a wife. Like you have a life other than painting. So it'd be nice if everybody understood that, but not everybody does.
No, and it's like I've actually had it out with people, and not had it out, but kind of have to explain to them, be like, look, this is what's going on. Like a month and a half, 2 months ago, my wife got severely sick.
Yeah, life happens.
And it really hurt the timing of a commission. And I got it to him. It turned out amazing. But now it's like I see where it went, and now I'm waiting on a payment.
That's a hassle. Yeah. So, and my issue with that is, like in every interview, podcast, or even in any discussion, I try to let people know, yeah, I'm an artist, but life happens. A family member might die. I remember I kind of went through like a breakup before in the middle of like a bunch of commissions, and they didn't quite understand. Like if I'm hurt, if I'm down, I'm not going to be able to paint. I'm sorry. It's just not there.
And that's the thing. If I'm working on someone's commission, and I'll admit I do suffer from depression, regardless of, but I never put that out online because that's me. Yeah, it's some things are just meant more private, but I won't work on someone's commission if I'm in that down state.
Yeah, because you're not going to deliver. Like I'm not going to give you the best quality product in that state. I'm just not going to.
Yeah. So like, I mean, is that something that you deal with too? Like,
yeah, I mean, I have my I guess I call it my depression war kit, and of course, you know, the world knows fried chicken is a part of that. I know how to get out of that within fairly, ample time, good amount of time, but I try to leave breadcrumbs with customers and even just in the world, like artists go through things. So, please be considerate. You know, I let people know I'm not afraid to say I'm not in a good mood or I'm down, or that's probably as deep as I go publicly.
Yeah, and I think it's good to do that because then people get an understanding that
like we go through things too.
yeah, I think so many artists suffer from depression and social anxiety and just dealing with all kind of different issues regardless of their persona online and how they act in person, because when we go home, like
our job comes from here. You know, it comes from here in our heart. Like we have to create. That's very different than putting a car together. There's no blueprint. Like we have to make that product. So our mind state dictates what's created, and if that mind stays messed up, it's going to be an issue.
Yeah, I'll be honest, man. You got your fried chicken, and I love fried chicken. I mean, like the first time I gave my daughter fried chicken, her eyes lit up. She licked her lips, and she was like, like she might have been like 1.5, 2, and I was like,
it's a win.
Yeah,
like it's I don't know. It's a comfort thing to me. Like it just. Everybody has their vice. Mine's fried chicken.
Mine's tacos. We had tacos tonight.
There you go.
I banged out 6 of them on my own, and I make man tacos.
Okay, we're spilling over, and it's
because I like to get the scoop at the plate. I like to get my paws and just throw it at my face.
That's how you do it. There's no better way to do it.
Yeah. So I want to focus on the art right now. And
okay.
You paint a lot of what in my mind is Black heritage and Black culture. And the colors that you use and what you put out, I think it's made for everybody though, in a way, because it's so beautiful. It's like it's like you're painting what you know and what inspires you. Am I right on that?
Yeah. So I know I came across a lot of people and other artists where like Black art is so much more than browns and crowns, and it's like it can be enjoyed by everybody. And I just feel like it's kind of stupid to paint yourself in a box as a Black artist. Like it's just, and if you notice, I rarely use, when I paint African American art, it's rarely just one color, or it's rarely just straightforward, oh, that's a Black person. I try to use as many colors as possible. Like it might be a blue person, but they'll have Black features.
Yeah. I mean that's, I think that's what comes across of it, that is the beauty of it. Like you could use the blues, the purples, the oranges, the reds, and you could tell that you are inspired by your heritage and your culture. And I think that's amazing, because that hits so many people. Like,
and I really don't want to make it feel like just exclusive to Black people. You know.
I've personally never taken that. I mean, if
that's the goal.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
I mean, like when we sat down at the bar in the summer, I think I told you, like, I adore your art. It's beautiful. I admire the work and the ethics that you put into it, because you're definitely a hard worker.
Thank you.
Now, what got you your start at picking up a pen and a paintbrush to pursue your art?
It's something I always love to do, for one, and then just getting the courage, realizing that I can actually do it. You know, I've always loved art galleries and art shows, and then just got enough courage to try it. And my first art show was just a trial. I didn't expect to do anything. It was a trial, and it was very successful. And I was like, maybe I can do this. It was just building the confidence up.
Now, what made you go back and quit your job? Because you used to be a teacher, right?
Yeah, I was a teacher I was in early education for about 9 years. And what gave me the courage to do that was I was bringing more money in from art than my teaching paychecks.
Yeah.
And it was just like, a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And then teaching actually started getting in the way because a lot of people wanted me to live paint, and I just didn't have the time. Or they wanted me to do an art show, and I couldn't go straight from school to the event.
Yeah.
You know, I had to set up maybe at 1 o'clock, and then the event's at 5. I couldn't do that from in the classroom at noon, and so it started getting in the way. It started getting in the way.
And I was experiencing that in my last job, or actually all my jobs, where it's like, do I miss work where it's guaranteed part of my paycheck?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I go out and have a hypothetical payday? Because it's not necessarily every time someone's going to buy something. And
and my thing is, like, I just told myself, you know, I'm giving this job 40 hours a week. And I told myself, if I give myself at least half that, I'm pretty sure I can make more. Like, I'll give myself those hours and see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, I can always go back to teaching and get a job. But if it does work out, it's a big win.
Now, you could always become an art teacher.
That too. Like, there's other options if it doesn't work out. But I just said, you know what? Let me see what happens if I give myself 40 hours a week doing art. Let's see what happens. And it just took off.
And so how long have you been a full-time artist at this point?
This would be 1 year and 4 months?
That's beautiful.
Going into my second year.
Good for you, man. That's because, like, I always see you posting these live events where you're painting. You're painting on all these different women, and it's. I would have a hard time with that, and
it's interesting. I mean, I enjoy the art, but it actually was an idea that somebody else brought to me, and I tried it out, but it was cool, and surprisingly, that took off. A lot of people want to do it. Like, it's really not hard to. I would think it'd be hard to find people to do it. It's really not hard. Like, there's more times where I have to turn people away. They're like, no, I can't paint you. I can't paint you for your event or your birthday shoot. Then not. Like, there's some people you got to say more often than not. You have to say, no, I can't paint you.
Well, like, for me, I would have, because you're painting on attractive women, and I would have a hard time doing that because I'm married, and I would not like, and I don't have a jealous wife at all. I don't. But to me, it's like, I don't want to touch another woman because of my vows. Like that's just me. And that probably sounds silly to some people that are gonna hear this, be like it's only paint. Yeah, but
still, it's dancing. It's dancing on other lines. It's like, hey.
Yeah, it's like I just don't need that. That I don't want it.
I definitely, and me personally, I keep it very, very professional. Like, I've had girls I know that were flirting.
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't do it because I don't mix the two. Like, I don't mix business and pleasure.
Oh, you can't.
Like, not at all. Like, anybody that I ever body paint, you could talk to them and they say, yeah, he kept it very professional. It wasn't awkward or weird. And it was cool. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, a lot of guys like, hey, you're picking on naked women, and it's like, it's not even close to what you're thinking.
Yeah, I would think it's kind of like in a movie set where you see, it's like, all right, we're gonna be naked together for a moment. It's like it's work. I just didn't put pants on today. Yeah,
it's work. It's really work. Like, trying to find the right pose, the right color, the right lighting. That's all work. Like, I grew a whole new respect for models because of it, because you're there for 2 or 3 hours trying to get 1 or 2 good shots. It takes a while.
Well, along with the body painting, what other live events have you done? Tell everyone, because I've seen you paint live and everything, but like, where have you done this?
I remember my first live painting gig was in Market Square. This was maybe 4 years ago. And that gave me the confidence, like, I could do this in front of people. And I just zoned them out. I've live painted at the Science Center like maybe 4 times.
Oh, that's cool.
I've live painted different fundraisers at the Scar Bar downtown, Blend.
Mm-hmm.
I've live painted there. Where else? The Grayson Center on the Hill, I've live painted there. Where else? I'm trying to think.
Now,
Repair the World in East Liberty, I've live painted there 2 or 3 times. A bunch of places. That's all that comes to mind now, but a bunch of places.
Now, do you prefer to live paint, or do you prefer to just have a show and be there mingling?
Honestly, it depends on my mood. Like, sometimes when I realize I haven't live painted in a while, I kind of want to do it, but it all depends on my mood. Like, there's no preference.
See, I like the live paint, but at the same time, I'm like, I really enjoy watching people look at art.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah,
like every show I've done, I always sit back, I'm in the cut, and I just people watch.
Yeah,
it's amazing. I love to see what people see, and it's so amazing.
Yeah, because everyone's expression or it seems what they take away from a piece of art is always different. And then this is just me. Like when someone looks down at a price, I like to see their reaction on that. Only because it's like,
fun to watch.
Oh, it's hilarious because it's like, I don't think people understand the value that an artist puts into a piece outside of product. There's a lot of time, a lot of emotion, a lot of body, soul that goes into it. And when somebody says, "You want how much for this?" It's like, well, yeah.
And I try to tell people that are trying to get into collecting, buy what moves you. Don't worry about the price. Don't worry about who did it. Buy what moves you. If you feel attracted or compelled to get a piece, get it. Don't buy just because it's a nice piece of decoration, if you will. Like, that's my opinion.
Yeah. The people that buy my stuff, I have a guy in Illinois, out in California, and then I have a guy out in Minnesota that before all this was always like, I need a new piece.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for the right one. And he'll be like, what do you have in your store? I tell him, be like, well, this is everything you've seen is basically in my store, but here's the link. But don't buy something just to buy something. As much as I want that money, like, I'm not going to lie, like, buying it or them consuming it and getting it delivered, the income's always nice. But I don't want them to do an impulse buy and then be like, I hate this. It doesn't go with everything. You know what I mean?
And I try to tell people, like, when they want me to commission something, but they don't know what it is, and I try to tell them, think about it. Like, what could you look at every day and love? Like, what could you see every day and love? And people get to thinking, and that's when you really get their, I guess, desires out, what you get in their brain versus, oh, that looks pretty. Like, I'm not a big fan of art that just, oh, that looks pretty. Yeah. Like, if you don't love it enough to see it every day, I don't think you need it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that entirely. Every piece that I've bought, for the most part, is something that I've been watching and waiting to get. And because it's something that I'm sitting on. Like, it's a piece that I want to have and pass down to my kids, because especially my daughter, she loves art, so she will appreciate this one day. My son probably too, but he's a goddamn nut, so he'll be into something else, and that's amazing on a whole nother level. But it's like, I can't just buy it to buy it. As much as I want to support someone or something, I have to just walk out of my bathroom or walk out of my bedroom and be like, yes, I own that.
Yeah, exactly. Versus you see something and it just becomes like just fades into your home decor after a week or a month, and you kind of end up forgetting it's there. Like, I don't support that. Like, That's silly to me.
What's been one of your most prized commissions that you've done?
I would say, you know what? I would say prize. I don't know.
When I say prize, like one that you were like, I love that commission so much, I might want to give them their money back, and I hang this in my house.
All right, so I'll say it because I'm just a huge, gigantic Marvel fan.
Okay.
The Iron Man commission I did, I didn't expect it to come out that good.
Yeah, that was fire.
It was right when Endgame came out,
Mhm.
and Iron Man died same week, and I was like, man, I kind of wish I could have kept that for myself. I was like, man, because I'm just a huge Marvel fan. Like I collect comic books, and it's like, man, I would have definitely kept that for myself.
Yeah. See, I had this Hobbs piece that I did where he was kind of like fighting himself in a way, and I put a ridiculous price on my store for it. At a price where I did not think anybody.
You didn't want to work with anybody. I've done that before.
Yeah, and
somebody bought.
Yeah, it fucking sold, and I was like, now I gotta ship it. I gotta ship it.
I remember I did a Captain America piece, and I kind of overpriced it for the same reason somebody bought it. But yeah, I'm huge in the comics, and I guess I have a little attachment to any type of DC or Marvel painting I do. But yeah, I definitely know the feeling. I definitely set a little higher price than it needed to be, but somebody bought it without question.
Yeah, it's beautiful when that happens, but it's
like it's a little sting. It's a little sting. Like I would have held on that for at least a little longer, but it's like, all right, I would have kept it for myself.
So you're a Marvel guy, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a DC and Marvel guy, but I mean, Marvel has just been killing the game with the cinematic universe. They've just been killing it.
I'm a Batman guy. I like the original Batman. When I say original, from what is it, 88 with Michael Keaton?
Yeah, 89, 88. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go.
We're back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still learning.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I love Batman. He's a vigilante just taking people out. Like
I think DC has way better storylines, but in the movies they really don't tap into them.
No.
Like the one Michael Keaton, I love Jack Nicholson. Like I'm a huge fan.
He was an amazing Joker.
Like he murdered that. Like iconic role.
Yeah, see, I thought he played a sociopath very well, but also did Ledger. But
yeah, and that was unexpected. That was very unexpected. I was shocked. But yeah,
he killed it. So
yeah, I mean, you know, rest in peace. Sad to say he had to pass, but that was another iconic role, and I can't say that about too many DC or Marvel movies. Well, of course, Tony Stark. He murdered that, but you know, it's rare that you get a role that you kill like that.
Yeah, but Downey Jr. is just an amazing actor, dude.
Yeah, he has tremendous range. And what's his name? Patton, the new Batman. I'm curious to see how they're going to do that. It looks real gritty so far, but I'm curious to see how they're going to do it.
See, I like the darkness of like the Dark Knight, where like
it seemed like it's getting darker.
And see, that's what I like. Like
it seemed like it's getting very dark. So, I mean, they show pictures of the new Batmobile. It looked very like a souped up like muscle car. So I'm curious to see how they're going to do that.
I'd like to see a Batgirl movie.
They did the TV show, but I don't think they went dark enough.
No, but I'd like to see like an actual like actors doing it out. You know, like Halle Berry as Batgirl would be badass. Or like, I don't know too many actresses. Like this.
Like I feel like even with what was it, Birds of Prey, like I heard terrible reviews, but they didn't go as dark as they should, in my opinion. Like it seemed very pop-ish, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's like they have some pretty dope stories, but I think they could do a dope Batgirl. They could definitely do a dope Batgirl.
I'd be into it. I actually, when my daughter was like 1, I took her to a comic book store and I bought her the first edition of Batgirl. I was like,
wow.
I was like, you gotta have this. You got like,
yeah,
like it's a badass girl. That's a role model. She fucks people up. I kind of want you to fuck people up if they need to be fucked up.
That's kind of why she got the mantle, like Batman saying that she can handle herself.
Yeah. So I see you post all the time, and sorry, I'm swinging it right back into art again.
No, it's cool.
You post all the times of the paintings that you're doing. Do you do prints and stuff like that? No,
I've never made a print. And what's his name? Josh is a good friend of mine. I've never done a print though, and he tried to get me to do like limited edition, like embellished prints. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about that, but I haven't done one print yet.
I love doing prints. I do. Mm-hmm. I do, and I've actually kept mine limited to an edition, just because like I think it's smart to do some at a limited edition rather than like forever print them. You know, like so that's just me. Like I just got prints in the mail from them today, and I thought I've never seen Q do this, man. Like
never made a print, not one.
So what's going to be next for you? Like what are your goals?
Just bigger ticket projects. Like, well, I got a few things in the works, but I'm still trying to find the right direction. But so I'm working with the University of Pittsburgh a lot. Mm-hmm. They're asking for a few projects of me, and I'm curious. Stuff I've never done. Like one of the projects that the airport, they wanted me to give them an image, and they blew it up, and they're putting it on one of the gates.
Okay.
I'm like, cool. I've never done nothing like that. I'm curious to see how it's going to come out. Whenever things go back to halfway normal, that's when they're going to install it. And Pitt kind of wants to do the same thing. And so just bigger projects, different projects. I got an offer to do a book cover, something I've never done. So just seeing how different avenues of art, what I could do, you know, just things a little different than just canvas and paint. See what I could do.
Yeah, see, that's what I like to do. I like to try different things. I'm working, like, for me, I'm working on a coloring book to do.
Okay.
And then for the last couple of years, I've been trying to develop an actual book, like a storybook. And I've talked to Josh about this, and like the way that I want it to do is that you're reading it through someone's eyes that kind of has different personalities. Because I think we all have different like depending on what time of day it is, what mood we're in. You never know who you're gonna get.
My 6 a.m. me is very different than my 8 p.m. me.
Well, my 6 a.m. me isn't too much different. It just matters on how much coffee I get from 6 to 6:05. Like I gotta start chugging. You know, it's been crazy, especially with this downtime now, where I'm sleeping in a little longer than I should, and I talked to my wife about that. She's like, "Yeah, you gotta start getting up a little bit earlier."
Because I mean, even with the time, like not the time change, but like with scheduling, like if I go to bed late, I'm not getting up early at all, and you know I don't have a full-time job anymore, so it all depends on what I want to do that day. So I'm trying to get into the routine after this whole quarantine changed a lot. So
well, is this bringing what's this bringing out of you, like artistically?
It's really forcing me. Like I said, like I want to do bigger projects, and I've been looking at different artist calls, and different people have been asking me for different type of projects, and I'm like, I'm a little more open to it now. But it's kind of forcing me to go harder, get serious, go harder, and just think bigger. And that's just the goal, just to think bigger. Like I would love to do just something iconic. I don't know what yet, but just something iconic.
I always tell people what I want is I want to have my name, have a small paragraph
Mhm.
in this book of artists that
Mhm.
that the world has. I just want to have my name with a little mention.
Mhm.
Bob Fryer painted some shit, you know,
Yeah.
and because like, especially in Pittsburgh, like the world has so many great artists, and
Yeah.
and I think we live in a very competitive city. When I say competitive, like
Mhm.
look at the artists we're surrounded by.
Mhm.
Yourself,
Mhm.
Raymer, Camo,
Mhm.
Muldoon, Cam, like
Tom.
Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's anybody that I've had on my
Tim.
podcast. Tim, absolutely. He has all these beautiful
Yeah.
paintings. Like
Mhm.
I say it's all competition for us, that
Mhm.
we're all in a competition because we all have the same dream in a way. And
Yeah.
and that's going to be any city you go to, but I think the talent out here is so amazing.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, they bought his painting, why didn't they buy mine? What am I doing
Mhm.
wrong? You know what I mean? Like it's
My
not.
thing is like I used to think that way until I realized we all have our very own different demographic.
Oh yeah.
Because occasionally I'll go to your page or I'll go to Camel's page and I'll go to Muldoon's page, Tim's page, and I'll notice the people that liked his photos that I follow him, I don't know them. They don't follow me.
Yeah.
And and the same thing across the board. It's like they have thousands of people that have no clue who I am, and vice versa. So I can't be mad or think of it as competition. It's like those thousand people know who he is, and he's talented,
Yeah.
and they see him. And the same or different thousand people know me,
Yeah.
and it's just different audiences. Like the world's just that big.
It definitely is. But like when I say competition, it's like us out here making it, us out here.
Mhm.
Like I personally think if you sell one painting, you've made it. You know what I mean? Like
I agree.
if but it's a matter of continuing that success,
Mhm.
letting it snowball into something that's where people want to buy your stuff, where they're coming to you saying, "Hey, I want to buy this. Is this for sale?" I can remember the first piece I sold. I did a drawing of something, and someone's like,
Mhm.
"Hey, could you draw me a guy in a gas mask or a plague mask, and I'll pay you for it." I was like, I don't fucking know how to charge this.
Yeah,
I,
I know, yep, I know the exact same feeling, man. And I remember the first thing I painted, I had no intentions on selling it, and I posted it. Somebody wanted to buy it within 20 minutes.
oh, that's a great
And
feeling.
I had no idea what to price it. And then in my first show, I didn't price anything. And I had like maybe 40, 50 pieces.
Damn.
Some small. I mean, because I do the minis.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I had like 20 minis and a couple 16 by 20s, and I didn't price anything. I didn't expect to sell anything. My first art show, and people were slowly coming to my table asking prices, and I was like, I had to learn real quick. But the lady at the table next to me helped me out, and I just didn't know I could do that. Like I had no idea people would want to buy something I created, and I said, let me start researching this and see if I can actually make something out of it. And here we are.
Yeah, see,
what, 5 years later.
Yeah, the first show I did, I got so much space on a wall, and they said you can have like 10 to 12 pieces on the wall. I heard you can have 10 to 12 pieces on the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shit on the floor.
I had shit everywhere, and and they came to me. They're like, "You can only have 10 to 12 pieces on the wall." I was like, "I have 10 to 12 pieces on the wall. I have these leaned up against the wall." And dude, like, it was so amazing. I basically sold out of that show.
Mm-hmm.
I went home with only a couple paintings, and
Murder.
yeah, if I would love to do that now because my prices then were like $65.
Yeah, they're a lot cheaper.
Yeah, like, and I didn't know what I was doing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like I had one dude literally buy a ticket to come in because he saw me post this Seuss painting I did.
Mm-hmm.
He ran up, found where I was, he bought it. He's like, "I'm going home. I got what I want." I was like, "I got what I."
That's a good feeling, man.
It is. Now, what's the worst experience that you've had? I mean, I'm not. I mean, because we all have that.
No, I have a bunch. I rarely talk about them, but I have a bunch.
Yeah.
Like, I would say, all right, I had a couple. The first art show I did, well, no, not even the first. The only art show I've ever done, it was Pancakes and Booze.
Oh God, yeah.
That's the only art show I've done that I didn't sell one thing, not one. And I refuse to do an art show, and if I know I'm not going to sell anything, I'm not moving all my work, setting it up and everything to not sell anything.
Yeah, because you it's time and money. You lost it.
And then I would say a few customers were upset with me because I was taking a long time for commission. And one time, like a girl was mad at me, and she went on this rant. It happened one time, and like she was a fraud, and he takes people's money and doesn't deliver. And it's like, one, I've never denied you. Like, anybody that does commission from me, you have my phone number. I tell them, call me whenever. If you have concern, you want to change a purple to a green, hit me up whenever. I'm not evasive.
Yeah.
Hit me up whenever. And I told her, like, what are you talking about? I just spoke to you 2 days ago. Everything was good. And now you're pissed off. And I'm like, where is this coming from?
Right.
And then from that, somebody I had a commission with saw that, and she backed out. The other girl wanted a refund. And I'm like, okay. And it was like $1,000.
Oh.
And I was like, you know what? Cool. Here's your $1,000. Here's your refund. Cool. Then, like, the following week, I had, that's when, I want to say, Pitt hit me up for, like, a huge, they bought, like, 7 paintings from me, and I was like, we're good. We're good. So, like, and it's like, anybody that knows me knows, like, this is not a game. I'm serious. You know, whatever you buy from me, save it. It's going to be worth something within 10 to 15 years.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, if you decide you don't want to do business with me, fine. Don't see me 5 years later in a magazine and want to hit me up for commission again. It's like, yo, like, that happens. And it's like, people will talk bad about you because of assumptions or whatever. And then they see that you're winning and then want to get back on the winning team. And it's like, no, I'm not going to do business with you.
Yeah, that's how I am. I had a guy in Chicago spend a lot of money on a painting within his budget. He was like, can we do this in color? I was like, well, the more color that you add, it's going to be more money. And he's like, well, let's keep it black and white. I said, I can show you what it's going to look in gray tones. I did some stuff on the computer and I put it into gray tones. He was like, that's awesome. I love it. Well, I was doing stencil work, and it was a 4x4 stencil. You can't see my hands. I'm going like that. So I'm doing a 4x4 stencil. Each stencil took me at least 19 hours to cut, and I'm not even joking. I was very meticulous on the detail. It was very detail oriented. I sent him a photo of it. I was like, hey man, I have well over like close to 80 hours on on these stencils, and I did. Like it took me a while, and I said, "This is." I did a test spray, which turned out to be an AP proof because I just kind of went off with it, and I actually sold that too. And he was like, "You told me this was going to be in color." I was like, "No." I said, "Go back in your messages and read." He started sending me screenshots, but he clipped out what I said is going to be in color, and he was like, "Yeah, let's go with the black and white, like gray tones." He clipped that out. I was like, "Well, you're missing this," and I sent it back to him. And he was like, "Look, I'll just contact a lawyer and do a civil suit. I'll bring you to Chicago. You're gonna have to pay for that." And I was like, I'm like, "You're switching it on me. Like right now, I'm done with it."
Yeah, and it's like, yo. And so, who did I talk to? Max Gems. I did a show with him, and he showed me the importance of like physical contracts.
Yes.
Normally I just keep messages, but to take it a step further, for me, anything over $1,000 is going to get a contract.
Yeah. That's actually how I am. I do contracts. It's very, very bland, very, very to the point. I'm doing this. You're paying this. This is what it's going to have, and the colors.
Yeah, and this is understood, and this is what it's going to look like. And I don't care if you don't like it. Once it's done, it's not even done. Once it's started, it is paid for, and that's how it is. Like I bought the materials, I bought everything. If you decide halfway through you don't want it, that's on you. Yeah,
because I'm going to finish the painting and either deliver it to you or mail it to you.
Yeah, and certain like all right, I had one situation where a lady paid for a painting, and within 2 weeks, on the way to the day I was going to deliver it to her, she decided she didn't want it because it was a gift, and it was a gift for one of her friends, and it was for her new kid. I think it was like the child was named after like a Ninja Turtle or something like that, and she had a miscarriage. So it's like, I have no use for the painting anymore. Can I have a refund? And like, I gave her half the money back just because like no one planned for that, and I kind of felt bad. But rare situations like that, I do give refunds. But if I start your commission, I'm not giving you a refund.
Yeah, and that's not what a lot of people understand. I actually had a dude hit me up. The day that he got his items, like he bought like he bought like $30 worth of stuff off my store. He hits me up. I got everything. Can I ship it back to you and get a refund? And I was like, why? Like my store actually says all purchases are final, no refunds. And he said, well, I just lost my job. And every cent counts right now for me and my family. And I'm like, it's $30. He needs that more than me. Like, I'm like, I was like, just keep the product. Here's your money back. Yeah. And just in the future, when things pick up, think of me in this. And I wish you the best. And that's my take on it. But like, I think in a profession like this, in a time where we're going to experience negativity. We're going to experience backlash. And I think everyone's now at a point where our words can be used against us in some way. And with the level of technology, everything can be manipulated.
So, and even like, in negative situations where the one girl was mad at me, I didn't go off. You've never seen me go off on anybody publicly or anything, or have any disputes. But even with customers that are unhappy or I handle it well, and 9 times out of 10 they do come back, or they still do support, because I've seen people who started to buy something and then changed their mind, and long as I didn't start a commission, they didn't pay for everything, but you know those people that are like, you know, I'm gonna pay you Friday for this, and I can't wait to buy your paintings. And they don't, or they disappear and they don't, or whatever happens, they flake. But you know, I still handle them, you know, very politely, professionally, and then usually they do come back around whenever they get the money. But more often than not, they end up becoming a customer, if not at that moment.
Yeah, see, I'm owed money, and because the guy did have to wait on certain things, I'm like, I'm not chasing it because I know I'm not going to get my money. So now it's like, if I get asked, because he brought up to me about doing other commissions, I'm like, yeah, I'll do them, but there's going to be this much more added to it.
There are some people who do that or have done that, and I just ask for full payment up front. Like certain people, if I get a vibe that I'm going to be chasing you down for the other half, I'm going to need it up front before I get started. And depending on how they respond, I just go off vibes. Like some people, I get it up front. Some people, I do 50% up front.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it all depends on your clientele, who you're going to be working for and with on it. It's like the dude in, is it Iowa or Chicago? I forget. He's hit me up a few times. Was like, hey, I really like this piece. What's the price on it? It's not in your store. And I tell him, and he'll be like, all right, let me think about it. But he's also the same dude that has already spent a large number of money on my stuff.
Yeah, so
and then like I have a donation link on my store. He sent me donations. Been like, here, man, keep creating. Like,
yeah, and that's dope.
Yeah, and like I mean, I've come in contact with some really amazing clientele. The one guy out in California, it was like, I just lost my job. I was trying to figure out how I'm going to continue to do this, finding a job, get back on my 2 feet, and provide for my family. This dude in California sent me like close to, I think, $800 worth of canvases.
Wow!
Because I came home from doing something, and there's a shitload of blick boxes at my like leaned up against my driveway or my garage. I'm like, what did my wife just buy me? Like, and I knew it was for me because it said Blick art materials on it. Yeah, I was ready to call her and be like, oh, thank you, I fucking love you, you're beautiful. It wasn't her. I mean, I still feel the same way, but like it was this, it was this customer from out in California, and I call him, and he's like, look, man, I know you hit a low point right now. He goes, I don't want you to stop creating. He's
and that's where I'm at now. Like, I have some people that know, like, yo, you know, I've seen you working, and I know it's tough for artists. Here's a couple $100. Here's $50. I've had people donate, and I'm like, thank you. And I mean, they're fans, and it's definitely appreciated. And I try not to sound cliche, but man, it's definitely appreciated.
Oh, fuck yeah! And now, can you feel the difference between a supporter and a fan?
Yeah, because like you said, I have a similar story with a guy out in Boston. He bought maybe 5 paintings from me, and the last one I shipped to him was damaged. And it's my first time. I didn't know what to do. It wasn't insured. I know UPS insures up to $100 off top, but the postal service doesn't.
No.
And then I learned that the hard way, and he was like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I'm going to buy something else. And I was like, oh, shit. He bought 2 more paintings like a month later and didn't even ask for a refund for the damaged piece. He said, just pay me something else and ship it to me. And then the COVID-19 hit, and he was the first one. I didn't even ask. He was the first one just to send me a donation. And I was like, wow. And I don't know the guy from Mechanic Paint. He just been following me. And
that's awesome.
It's really appreciated.
See,
it's really appreciated.
And that's a fan. A supporter is just someone who follows you and doesn't interact, I think. And
okay.
what I'm, and I know that sounds horrible, and I don't mean it to be like, well, everything comes down as a transaction or a financial thing. It's not that, but fans they comment, they interact with you. I get a lot of messages on my Instagram where people be like, I fucking love this, or instead of them commenting, I'm like, please comment. Like, it brings up the algorithm. Like, the more likes, the more comments it gets. It keeps getting pushed up in someone's view. But like, it's amazing when somebody likes you that much, but they like your art more, and that like that's a fan. Like that's a fan. I think friends and family are supporters, but there's a small group that fall into fans. Like I have some friends that are fans, and I was that's about it. But like if somebody hits me up and they're like, so what's the price on this? And I tell them, they're like, what's the friend and family price? I'm like, like I hate that question, you know, because it's like we're all independent, like like don't skim from the top.
And now I actually do have more people. I guess you can call them fans, or family members, friends, and off top I offer them like, you know, this is the full price, and I'll give them like $50 off or $100 off for friends and family, and they're like, no, I'm giving you full price because, you know, I generally, you know, want to support, and that means a lot to me because it's like, yo,
that's amazing. Like even at this time, like I'm trying to support the people the best I can, and right now for me to support them is buying stuff that I'm gonna be able to flip. Like Josh, he did a bunch of prints for me, and he didn't really tell me. He didn't give me a quote fast enough, so I was like, bam! I just sent him money, and I was like, is that enough? He's like, I think. I was like, well, if not, tell me, because like I wanted him to get the money quick, because he has 2 locations. He has employees. He has a house. He has a son. I know every dollar counts for him. And then where I get my T-shirts done, I have bandanas coming out, and I'm hounding these. I don't want to say I'm hounding them, but it's like, hey man, I want to get you your money. It's not because I want my product. It's because I want to send you the money. Yeah, like right now I'm super into supporting local, and that's all I've done since I've been doing this. Like I've been going to Josh now for like 6 years, Revival for the last maybe 4.5. So it's like I'm trying to put the money back into the community, and eventually what I want to do is start buying some local art when I can afford it too, you know? So like, what are your takes on putting something back into the community? Like, and would you want to do a piece for the community after this is over? Like maybe collab with some artists and do like a big mural for like getting through this, like
yeah, I would. I mean, I would love to, because like I know when my last piece I sold, it was for a business in my community I grew up in, and I appreciated he, you know, wanted to work with artists that's from the neighborhood. And for me, like, I look at giving back not just financially. Like, of course, me being a Black guy, I feel it's really, really important for Black kids to see, you know, Black men could be other things than a rapper and a basketball player.
Oh, absolutely.
And when I grew up, I didn't necessarily see many artists at all, and people like to do other things than what's just on TV. You know, there's other occupations, and I think it's important for kids or anybody that's impressionable to see somebody doing something out the box or out the norm. And that's a way I love to give back. Like I love speaking to kids. I love speaking at schools. I love showing even just a kid in passing, showing them, or if they're looking at artwork or anime or comic books, just having a chat. Like,
Absolutely.
You can do that.
Yeah,
Like, come out with your own comic book. You could start your own series, or you could be an artist or a graphic designer. That's super dope to me. And I forgot where I was at, and I had the longest conversation with a kid, and he was just shocked that I make money from art. He was just shocked. I was like, yeah, you can do that. Like, how else do you think things are created? Anything cool you've seen, artists did that pretty much.
Absolutely.
And from architecture to, I don't know, a postal stamp, an artist had his hands in that.
Yeah.
And
art
when I was younger, it wasn't thoroughly explained to me when I was younger, but I would love to show the next generation, like, yo, art is very important.
It is. It speaks emotion. It can help heal. Being I'm not saying it can cure AIDS, but it can cure a mental state momentarily, or it can snap you out of something that
or snap you into something
even better.
Yeah.
So
and a lot of people don't understand that, and I appreciate the people that do, but as far as giving back to my community or just giving back, in any form, I would love to be a part of any form of giving back, creating honestly, I got a couple emails to send out, but I definitely want to do a piece for my old high school and my old elementary school, because I spoke there twice, but I've yet to do a piece for them. I think it'll be dope, because like when I was in high school, we saw all the Wall of Fame, and it was pretty much just athletes.
Yeah, and that's all it's ever going to be. It's like
that's not cool, man.
And unless some actor becomes famous or musician, it's like if you're on IMDb, you'll get a Wall of Fame.
And it's like, all right. And honestly, that is something I've always wanted to, just to be recognized at my elementary school or high school, because when I was there, it really wasn't anything important, like being an artist. Or I've never took a formal art class before, and it was never pushed. And I'm like, I wish in high school they took it serious. I didn't go to any art school, but even still,
I think high school should focus on what kids want to do with their lives, what they have interest in.
You want to be.
Yeah.
And most high schools don't.
No, because it's all textbook, man. It's all this class, this class, this class. It's not focused on their interest, on what they want to succeed at. Like, why aren't we teaching people how to farm, where if you can grow your own food, you can always provide for your family.
And tastes better.
Yeah, for real.
More often than not, it's going to taste better.
Yeah, and like, oh, little Joey likes to take photos. Well, why not offer a photography class as a major or something like that? Be like, look,
yeah,
like,
and
teach something.
I mean, it still blows my mind, but I guess I'm not at a point to really attack that issue yet. But it's that plan to, like, yo, if I knew what I knew I'll even say 21, I would have been an artist so much earlier.
Right? See, I was scheduled to talk to my old high school, the art class, and then at Fox Chapel, art class, and it was gonna be. I was so pumped just to do it, just because I thought it'd be cool to go in there and talk to kids of like, look, I do this for a living, but I also have a full-time job. Like, don't let a job take over your passion. Like I do a lot of good stuff I was going to talk to him about, and I was so excited for it because I've worked with kids. I volunteered with the Miracle League with it was little kids, like toddlers and stuff like that have like Down syndrome and other disabilities, play baseball. I've I've coached basketball. I know basketball. I always enjoyed working with the kids because I talk to them like how I'm talking to you. I don't talk. I don't even talk to my kids in baby talk. Like,
I mean, no, I mean, just coming from an educational background, it's frowned upon. Like, they're little people. Talk to them like people.
mm-hmm. So we've been going for a while now. Before we head off, I wanna. Who are your art influences? Like what artists influence you to make your masterpieces and the beautiful imagery you give out?
I would have to say I'm a huge fan of Dolly.
Nice.
I'm a big fan of Dolly. He was the only topic that kept me awake in art history in college.
Didn't Dolly? He suffered from erectile dysfunction, and art got him through that, right?
He had a lot of issues. And yeah, he had in that area also in dating and relationships, he had a lot of issues, but I just appreciate his just like the surrealism. Even in real life, he just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that. Like, I guess to the politically correct term, he was fairly fearless.
Yeah.
But I prefer he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. That's the best way to put it.
But I'm a huge fan of Dolly. In the art world, I mean, it's just in general, I'm trying to think. I do have a lot of music influence. I just like the stories, and I'm learning a lot of stories are the same. They're not the same. They're similar.
Mm-hmm.
And even Master P, let's say Master P, he didn't get any support from Louisiana coming up. And he went out of his trunk all over the United States, out of his trunk, and that's how he made a name for himself. And that what's the word? That perseverance, that's what inspires me. Anybody that pretty much busted their ass for their dream, I appreciate. I definitely appreciate.
See, about Master P, I'm not trying to offend anybody or make any enemies or anything, but I think he's everything that's wrong with hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he is probably one of the most amazing American dream stories. I think his work ethic is amazing.
And I didn't say anything about his music.
Yeah, I know. I was putting my personal opinion out there.
Yeah. But, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of separate the two. Like, the work ethic, the drive for whatever somebody may believe in. That's what inspires me. And I would even say Jordan. I've never met him, but I heard he's like a shit person.
I've met Jordan.
What do you think? Yeah.
So.
But I mean, I just know he worked hard for a dream, and I appreciate that.
See, when I met him, it was at a Mario Lemieux golf outing, and right before that, I broke my ankle in 3 different places. Wow. I tried dunking on someone, and it didn't work. So I came down. I broke my ankle in 3 different places. I got tickets to the Mario Lemieux outing. I got to park in the handicap section, which was also the VIP section where all the players parked. So I drove my dad's Jeep Cherokee to, I forget which golf course it was, and I'm parking next to Bentleys, a couple Rolls Royces, like all these fucking expensive cars that cost more than our house. And I'm in a section of handicapped people. Mm-hmm. And I had to sit in a wheelchair.
Wow.
Because I couldn't stand on my foot at all, like that whole time, and even being on crutches. So I got a wheelchair that I was in. And when I was very pale white. Mm-hmm. I had a shaved head. I look like a goddamn cancer patient.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, wait a minute.
And when somebody would come up to me and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," or trying to embrace me of the courage of being out, and they're happy to see me, I would have to be like, I'm not sick. I have a broken. Yeah. So like I never played it off to that, because that's just bad juju, man. That the karma coming back from that, it's negative. So like when I met Jordan, he was just signing stuff, and a group of people came flooding in to see him, and I put my hand out to shake him, because he was kind of like my idol. I grew up loving basketball and everything, and I finally got to meet him. Yeah, he was kind of a dick. He shook my hand, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy to meet you." And he was just like, signed.
And I've heard similar stories, but I mean, as a person, I couldn't say I'm a fan. I haven't heard many positive things, but as an athlete, like, you have to be in awe. Like, anybody that busts their ass for a dream, I definitely am inspired by. But any off-court activities, I could care less about.
Well, see, there's certain off-court activities that get me. For not just with him, but with anyone, and especially the time where he was booming. There was kids in New York and California, Chicago, in the more Detroit, in the more hard cities, more violent at the early 80s, 90s, and stuff like that. Kids were getting killed for a starter coat in his shoes.
Yeah, I remember. I remember my mom wouldn't let me wear starter jackets or Jordans when I was coming up because people were getting robbed.
Yeah, and it's like,
I remember.
I don't ever remember him talking about that, like saying, like addressing it, being like, "Look, this is not what I want." And I'm not saying that's what he wanted, but at the same time, when you make your shoes, especially back then, they were $110, $85. Think early 80s or late 80s, start of the 90s. $110, $115 for a pair of shoes, I think was expensive for a majority of families, right?
Oh yeah.
If you're that concerned with your community and the people that you are selling your product to, lower the gap. You're still going to make money, because it was like the NBA. It just looking back on it, it upsets me that he never addressed that, and it's hard not to judge, because I don't know what I would do in that situation. But at the same time, it's like, man, especially the kids that wanted him were kids that looked like him. You know what I mean? A lot of black youth, we're seeing that, and it's like, who's getting killed? And it, like,
and he didn't say anything. He could at least curve some of the issues, at least attempted, at least spoke on it. I don't, like you said, I don't ever recall him talking about it or at all or anything.
I had two clientele of mine commit suicide.
Wow.
After buying 2 idea pieces, and the idea was a beautiful musician, a beautiful rapper. Like I mean, he was intelligent. If you get a chance, look him up. I've done a bunch of idea pieces.
Okay.
He went away too soon. But I had 2 people commit suicide after buying those pieces. Like, and I'm talking probably a month after they bought it.
Wow.
And after that, I wouldn't even paint him for a while. And then I'm at a point, I was like, I'm not painting him anymore. There's like it just freaked me out to no end. So like on that, it's like,
so I'm not painting him.
Yeah, I was like I put a stop to it. No. I didn't address it, but I was like, you know what? I don't think it was my painting that did it. I don't think it's what Ideas Music did. I just think the people that bought it was mentally unstable for whatever reason, and it's sad. But I was like, I don't ever want to go through that again, because it's like, because I was messaging people, and I was trying to message them like, why aren't they getting back to me? And I go to their Facebook wall, and I'm like,
It's like rest in peace, like wow.
What? Like that fucked me up for a little bit after each
That's
one.
wild. That's wild.
But fuck Jordan, the basketball player, the entrepreneur. He's brilliant, I think.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't follow them for ethical inspiration, but the business mindset and that stuff I look to for inspiration. But a good portion of people, like, I know I'm a good person. I know to look to be a great human being. Not saying they aren't, but I don't look to them for that.
Look, man, we all got our flaws. We all got a past, and we all done something negative, and we've upset people. But I think it's where we're at now that makes us who we are, and I think it's ownership of things that we've done. Being like, yeah, I fucked up. It is what it is. I can't change the past.
Just do better in the future.
Yeah,
just grow. To grow.
Yeah, my goal is to be just like a better father every day, a better husband, a better son, and a better friend. Like, to me, that's where I want to grow. That and the artist comes after that, because I think the more I grow and the better that I can be as all those things is going to make me just a better artist in general. I mean, I could be talking out my ass on that, but like, to me, that's motivation to become better all around.
Yeah, growth, man. And I kind of say I want to agree. Like, you should want to progress. Like, I know for a fact I'm not the best artist I can be. I could be better in so many other areas. And I feel if you get better in those areas, you're not going to stay stagnant in one area. It forces you to grow in all areas.
Oh, absolutely. So who else has an influence for you?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'm never good at this question. I watch a lot of Eric Thomas. I don't know if you know who that is. He's a motivational speaker. He's pretty hardcore, but he's pretty much a motivational speaker. High school dropout. He goes on about he was homeless. He had trash cans, and didn't finish high school. And I want to say his dad. No one in his family went to college. But he became one of America's top motivational speakers. He's pretty extreme, but he got famous for the whole if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you want to succeed. And I started following him, and I was like, his story's pretty crazy. And I definitely appreciate that, because the levels of success I want to get, I'm going to have to be obsessed with art. I'm getting there. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. I'm trying to figure out how to do it without being an asshole, without making that many sacrifices.
Like, but the sacrifices are going to have to come, man.
And I'm not sure if I'm ready to do that just yet. Like, I've already sacrificed a lot. Like, I missed my best friend's his bachelor party, and I was the best man. I had an art show. And I'm like, I feel terrible, but he understood. Family reunions I've missed because I had to finish some commissions or I had shows coming up. And it's like, am I ready to go even harder yet? And something I think about.
I wouldn't mind skipping a family reunion. That's just me.
One, yeah, but after years and different functions, and it's like, it's starting to come off like, oh, Cousin Q might be an asshole. But it's like, no, I'm trying to do something that no one in this family has ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do something that you probably never. I'm trying to do something that I've never done. So I'm going to have to do different shit.
Well, if people can't accept that, that's on them. But I mean, if you're doing everything you can, that's all you can do.
I try my best to communicate with people, and some people get it, some people don't.
Hey,
keep doing what you're doing, man, because I love seeing it.
I appreciate it, man. I definitely appreciate it. And honestly, to not to scale it down, but I want to say like you, Tim, Tom, Camo, those guys influenced me because you the guys I looked at before I even decided to do any shows. I didn't even know you, who you got. I didn't know you were from Pittsburgh. And I was looking at your stuff, Camo stuff, heard about you guys, and then like I told you before, blew my mind you wanted to meet me. I was like, oh. And I'm like, yo, who else? Tim. Blew my mind. Tim wanted to rap, and I was like, wow.
Tim's cool as fuck.
I'm saying that because I definitely appreciate it because you were the guys I looked to when I was doing my research on how to become an artist, where to start, what to do, and just dope art. But I had no idea you guys were from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, man, we're all some Berg boys, man. A word I hate to say is a yinzer.
I mean, that's real. And even Muldoon, like I was watching these guys for a while, and then it was like, all right, I'm gonna try to do it. And then the fact that we're all peers now, it still blows my mind.
Yeah, like for anybody that I ask to be on the show or have on the show, I look at him as a peer and a friend because I want to sit down with people that I find interesting. Mm-hmm. But also people that I want to have a beer with, people that I would actually invite over to my house, mm-hmm. And that's what I'm doing now. I turned the studio into my little podcast home, mm-hmm. and it's like, come here, have a good time, have a drink with me. Like I'm finding people that I get inspiration from locally, and now like I'm gonna have some cool guests coming on. Where I have some hip hop artists that are coming on from New York. I have a guy that makes hot sauce from Portland, and I bought the hot sauce. I've been buying it for like 2 years now, and we follow each other, and it's fucking delicious. And so like I hit him up. It's like this is my way of connecting, learning, branching out, seeing what's out there, who's interesting, what I find fascinating with people, and just like I'm still able to create, especially during this Rona time, man.
I mean, it's definitely appreciated because I mean it keeps you hungry, keeps you motivated, keeps you creative, and it kind of makes the world feel like it's a lot less shitty right now.
Yeah, dude. Dude, the world's so shitty right now. I am so tired of hearing people, and I gotta give this up to my artist friends. And I think a form of art is probably the hardest job to have because you're totally independent. You rely on your next job, and with no one working,
it's not guaranteed, and it's hard to track projected sales. Like,
it is. I'm not seeing any of my friends that are artists complain about this time, but I see people complaining because they can't sell a home or real estate. It's like,
I'm an artist.
Yeah, I seen this girl trying to say that the real estate agency is a essential job. She's like, people need homes. Yeah, no shit, people need homes. Why don't you go try to sell one to a homeless guy? He has no fucking money. And that's where we're going to be at. And if this keeps going, people aren't going to have the money for a down payment. People aren't going to get approved. So
no income.
Yeah, selling a house is not essential because your market can't sell their home and your market can't buy a home.
So it's going to be there. It's just going to be there.
Yeah, like, my wife cuts hair. She's a hairstylist. Mm-hmm. She's been out of work, 6 weeks now or something like that? Or I don't know. Are we on day 97 or something? I have no fucking clue. Okay? I haven't heard her complain that she hasn't had a paycheck or gotten anything from anyone because of this. And she's like, I get it. That's what I hate seeing people complain when there's other ways to make money. They're like, do something creative.
Yeah.
Like you.
There's other ways to make money.
Yeah, there's places still hiring.
Yeah, I mean, the post office hiring. I mean, not to jeopardize your health, but there are other ways.
Like if you're that worried about your family, you could find out who's hiring right now, real fast.
I want to say a good job. They pay well, and I don't think they're ever going to take a day off. Garbage man.
Yeah, I guarantee you they're hiring.
They're not going to stop.
No, man.
So there's other options. I mean, I say for artists it's a little easier, but for the rest of the world, it's forcing them to be creative. A lot of people aren't creative.
No, and that's what's gonna get you by time, especially like right now.
Mm-hmm.
I could be sitting up there watching whatever with my dick in my hand, but it's like I'd rather do something like this and then go in the studio, have a cigar, drink some beer,
and chill out,
and paint some shit. Yeah, and then wake up in the morning. I see my kids, man. I smile because like that's what's getting me through this is seeing my lovely wife and seeing my adorable kids. Like I genuinely love them, and when I see them not cracking, I can't crack because the moment I crack, the bridge breaks, man, and we all fall. And my wife, aside from my mother, is probably the strongest woman I know. Like, who works more than anything and loves her job, and it's probably killing her not going into work. But every day she wakes up with a smile on her face, and she's mommy and teacher right now because I'm working from home with my job. So,
yeah.
But man, yeah, we've been going for a minute. You know what? I thank you for your time. I admire you.
No problem, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm really happy to call you a friend and a colleague, man. I would love to have you back on in the future, but we don't got to do this to talk, man. You ever want to talk, man? And as we talked, if you need an ear, hit me up, man. I'm here for you.
Appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it.
So for anyone that is that sees this, please let them know where to find you. I'm gonna put all your links in the description, but I want you to just tell everyone where to find you on social media and everything.
Okay. You can find me on Instagram at cbperry_. Facebook Q Perry. That's about it.
Yeah, you. Please tell me you got a fucking website.
No website.
We gotta get you a website, man.
It's coming. Like, so that's a part of this pit deal also. Like, I'm doing a lot of work with the University of Pittsburgh. So I had a meeting Wednesday. So we're doing a lot of work, but it's coming. Website's coming.
All right, brother. Hey, man. Yeah. Hey, happy Easter, happy holiday to you. If you celebrate it, enjoy it. I hope you get to smile that day, man, because we need it.
Yeah, thank you, man. You too. Always good talking with you, man.
All right, brother. Hey, I'll be in touch with you.
Definitely, please do.
Hey, thanks for being on, man.
No problem.
Peace. All right. CB Perry, y'all.
What inspires the movements and refuses to fold? The allegories and all their glory now. Don't be snoring, grab a coffee or a brew or two and open YouTube. Check out what I do, you can like and share it too. Show it to your family and every person in your crew, and put that subscribe button to use. Durty Talk, the podcast, brought to you by my man Bob Fryer, aka Dirty Art. Check it out.